This is my daily point of entrance to the New College Garden, which I've had the honour of running as garden fellow for the past 40 years. I come every day through the quadrangle here, and I have a sense that the garden and the flowers are waiting to delight me, puzzle me, and test me every morning. This is an extraordinary time to see the garden. There's nobody else here, and that's never normally the case. Every warm afternoon in the summer, the grass is covered with people reading books, drinking coffee, or kissing. And my garden here is in dialogue with other people. So to see it with none of them is like a duet with one part missing. But I want the chance to pass on what I have tried to realize and the principles behind the planting and what you see, so that you can think them over, adapt them, I hope, improve them, but at least have a starting point. Gardens are edited and selected nature, and in my view they often improve on nature. If you left this garden simply to go wild, it would be full of ground elder and bindweed, which are extraordinarily boring. But because I can edit it, I have blue bindweed with that wonderful morning glory flowers on the railings behind me. I used to grow one called Split Personality, thinking it was true to several of the professors in the college, but I've decided that Heavenly Blue, the great blue Ipomoea morning glory, is the really beautiful one. And it looks like a framed stained glass window or a sketch by Burne-Jones in early October, when for the first time, and we hope this year too, the undergraduates come to begin their thinking careers. The long border is one of the main glories of the garden. Now, there are two principles to herbaceous borders. One was enunciated by the great Miss Jekyll, that you should plant in narrow strips and you should grade the colours softly, leading from yellow to orange to red to down again to pink and so on, following the famous system of a colour wheel in the 1850s. But I don't do that. Here I'm thinking of dramatic changes of colour, and I think of it like a very good lunch with the FT. We're talking here about 5 courses, one after the other, but on each separate course I'm trying to have something that is repeated down the length of the border that draws your eye right down the huge long run and vista you can enjoy when looking down it. Most of the plants here attach poignantly to my life, biography, to friends who first showed me them, to places I first found them. But here, that dark purple dahlia is Admiral Rawlings, which an FT reader sent to me unsolicited through the post about 22 years ago, and I opened it and thought, I just don't want another dahlia. How wrong you can be. She said it was fabulous, and it is. There are so many other small examples that I really treasure. So when I walk down the border, I try to look at the whole, I look at the interrelationships, I see the invisible people and their work finding the plants, sometimes giving them to me, sometimes talking to me here. I see past faces, past incidents, past pupils I remember who loved this, that or the other, whereas you, I hope, see a blend of colours. Much has been written about more natural, informal, wilder gardening, looking more like a prairie where plants interrelate naturally and aren't in a border, what I call Euro gardening. So about 4 years ago, I thought I would try some of it here. And it is more open and more apparently wild. Of course, it's still very artificial, like all gardening. I'm pleased with the front row at this time of the year. Those are 3 types of low-growing, basically aster, which anyone watching could have that within 2 years. They grow beautifully and they make informal groups with the big Californian tree poppy that at this time of the year is running wild. But it's absolutely untrue that this style of gardening is less laborious than our big herbaceous borders. We spend more time keeping this tidy than we ever do on our big traditional beds. Fashion is for those who have no style, so I ignore it. I go my own way, I'm aware what's going on, and I go on learning. You don't need great rarities. What you need are really good varieties of first-class families. And for that, you have to look, travel, read, and form your own taste. Plough your own furrow, go your own way, and stick with your own changing and developing style. It's never ending, but gardens never ever stand still. You must prepare for change and for a constant process. It's a way of life. That's why I love it.